Hi, it's Travis White with the Persuasive Communication Tip of the Week. In past videos, we've talked about culture, we've talked about strategy, we've talked about the relationship between culture and strategy and the relationship between culture and innovation. How can you personally be more creative and more innovative? I found an interesting article by Clayton Christensen, who has written a lot about innovation. It's called the Innovators Dna. And in it, he says there are 5 things that you can personally do to increase your ability to come up with innovative ideas. I'd like to summarize those for you in this video. So the first one is called Associational Thinking. It's connecting the unconnected. It's connecting different dots. Walt Disney said, "I'm the bee that distributes the pollen." And he said, "I'm not all that creative myself, but I help other people be more creative because I help them see the patterns and I help them associate things together." I often call this mashup thinking. If you mash up 2 things, what's the result? Sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's a very innovative new product. You mash up 2 different things or 3 different things, you create something new. Simple example of that, we've had luggage for thousands of years, we've had wheels for thousands of years. Mash up the 2 and you get wheeled luggage. Isn't that great? And now I understand there's even wheeled luggage with a power supply in it, so the luggage motivates itself, moves itself forward. So that's associational thinking. Number 2 is questioning. Ask lots of questions, including dumb questions. In fact, dumb questions are probably the best ones to ask because they go right to the foundation, they go right to the fundamental issues about a product or a service. You can ask definitional questions. What problem is our customer really trying to solve? Or you can ask causation or causal questions. How did you come up with that idea? What was the chain reaction, or what was the chain of events that led you to conclude what you concluded? Number 3 is observing. We think about anthropologists as being good observers. We can be anthropologists in the corporate setting as well. We can observe what people do and why they do it. We have to drop many of our assumptions and think about ourselves as an anthropologist or as a scout, scouting a team, a professional football or baseball or basketball team. Thinking about what are the patterns that we see, why do we see those patterns? Networking is the 4th one. Most of us network for resources. We want more money, we want more support, those kinds of things. We want more budget in the corporate budgeting process. We should also network for ideas. And the idea here is simply we should get to know people who aren't like us. People who come from different backgrounds, different academic disciplines, perhaps different ethnic, social backgrounds. They'll have different ideas. If we can mash those up with our ideas, perhaps we can come up with something very creative and very innovational. And the last one is experimenting. Corporations in particular are very complex entities. It's hard to know if you do this, what will happen and what will come out as an end result. So try it. Experiment with it. Go ahead, try out new experiences, take ideas apart, take products apart, figure out what's going on, experiment with new ideas, set up little skunk works, find out what the results are. You can't predict the future. It's much easier to experiment with the future, create experiments that will teach you new knowledge. So the 5 things: associational thinking, questioning, observing, networking, and experimenting. If you do all of those, I guarantee you'll be more creative and you'll come up with more innovative ideas that you can use in your personal life or in your business. That's the Persuasive Communication Tip of the Week. See you again next week.